Welcome to another episode of OG55. We're talking all about Universal today. We got Mr. Theme Park Wizard in the house with us today. I got the Italiano also with me today. We're talking Universal up next on OG55.
Someone's going back to the future.
Yes, we are. Back to the future. Here we are. Mr. Wizard, it is good to have you on the show. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. And guess what? You can find me on all the socials, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Yellow Sky, Orange Sky, and Purple Sky. And if you want to book your trip with me, you can book with me because I'm a travel advisor. Oh, yeah. Email in the link below.
In the link below, make sure you book with Mr. Theme Park Wizard. Now, are there any restrictions? Like, what if, like, for example, someone wants to do like a trip to Tokyo Disney or something? Are you able to do that too? Like, facilitate that, or is
yeah. Tokyo Disney, Disney Cruise, Universal. It doesn't have to be a theme park. It should be like a hotel in LA. Could be in Vegas. Could be just an all-inclusive island trip, whatever you want.
There he is. He's your guy. I will be linking the email in the description. Make sure you hit Mr. Wizard up if you're looking to book a trip. He is your guy. Mr. Italiano, welcome back, sir. How you doing? I heard you had a little Disney day today.
Yes. Yeah. Was at DCA, covered some of the Lunar New Year stuff, some of the food, some of the decor, all that good jazz. And went from vlogging to now podcasting. So it's a full day.
It's a full day. Where can everybody find you on social media, sir? We do not share the OnlyFans on here, though, bro. So keep that out of there. You know?
Dang it. But in any case, other than OnlyFans, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And, of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
There we go. All right. Sticky. Oh, you said sticky, Wizard. Here we go. There we go. We're sticky.
I think the Florida weather is a little sticky, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, you are the Segway king, Mr. Wizard. That Florida weather is very, very sticky. Kevin Heimbach can vouch for you on that. Absolutely. So, Mr. Heimbach today has been under a lot of heat for some of his opinions on Universal's newest hotel, the Stella Nova Resort. Interesting stuff here. Okay, look, we're going to go over some of his tweets. Look, I think sometimes the fandom can be absolutely ridiculous. I've said this many times with Disney. A lot of times new things open and people nitpick the crap out of these new things when they're in the testing phases. They did it with Tiana's. They did it with like the new DVC tower and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, come on. This is why they soft open. This is why they have these test and adjust periods, right? So Kevin stays at the Stella Nova, the newest resort connected to Epic Universe. And some of his criticisms, I guess, have some merit, and some are just ridiculous. Let's start off with this one. This is kind of wild to me. A major design problem, okay, with Stella Nova Resort. Whenever it rains, you'll hear a constant tapping touch. It's hard. It's very hard to sleep if you're someone who needs complete silence. It's either coming from the window design or how the rain reacts to the 144,000 colorful reflective tiles. I think that's just water hitting the window, Kevin, but I could be wrong. What do you think? What do you think, Wizard?
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds weird to me. I mean, especially like, look at his face. Is he really that distressed over that? I mean, he needs you to see somebody because, as you know, at least and George too. Now that lives here, even today, it's been kind of windy. I can hear the wind. It's not tapping on my window, but I can hear it from outside, and I have no problem sleeping. So Kevin needs to find like an igloo or something to sleep in if he wants complete silence. Because, I mean, heck, there's people above in my apartment that stomp on the ground all the time. I mean, my goodness, that's worse than tapping rainfall. So I'm not sure about this complaint because it seems like he's doing that for look at 75,000 views and all those likes. It seems like he's doing that one at least for those engagement ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Now, are you sure the couple upstairs is stomping around, or are they clapping cheeks over there?
You know, I can tell the difference. Actually, I can tell the difference.
Good man, Mr. Italiano. If there's one thing the Italiano knows a thing or two about, it's clapping cheeks.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
What say you about the wind tapping on the window before we move to some of these other tweets about the
well,
hotel?
I will say that if he's very distressed about it, I'd hate to see what he thinks that when he flushes the toilet, it makes a sound. You know? I don't get it. I mean, yes, it's one thing to critique, you know, certain things that aren't working in a hotel, but like you can't control Mother Nature of how hard it rains, where the wind blows for the rain to hit, and as you said, OG, it's Florida. Like it's like what do you expect?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's interesting because, you know, in northern Florida, right, it's snowing. So imagine if it snowed here, what do you be saying? Like, oh my gosh, this hotel wasn't built for snow. What's going on here?
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Yeah, this was one of the not so valid complaints I think he was making with his overall review.
Before we move over, let's go back because now you can show the people. This is just an interesting critique I have with his typing. Every first letter is capitalized, and can someone in the comments tell me why that is? Like, what is that? You know how hard to do that is? You have to press shift and capitalize each time you're starting a new word. I don't know why he does that. It's just it's like OCD. I hate that. Like, what's going on there?
Is it like some sort of like cry for help? Like if you take the first letter and you say something.
Maybe it has a message for us. I don't.
We're gonna decode this, Kevin. We're gonna decode this. Oh, that's funny. Okay, now we have now this is a little more valid here. It says here many guests are having problems with the showers. Mine had sand coming out of it. I also have no hot water in my shower. Sounds like it's 50-50 if you have hot water in your room. Some guests were told it's a water pressure issue or that plumbers didn't install the showers correctly. There clearly was not a proper test stay before paying guests came to the hotel. Now, I do remember the DVC Tower at Disneyland Hotel was having similar issues. I don't know if it was sand per se.
Oh, I do remember that but somewhere with the shower or something, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was muddy or dirty coming through. Yeah. So this is, I think, a common issue with a lot of this stuff. This is why, you know, they have these sort of like soft open or whatever kind of things with whether it be a hotel or an attraction, so you can kind of you know, figure this stuff out. That's why going on the opening day you're going to have some problems. Now in this case,
it's important to note that the DVC Tower, I mean, we obviously don't hear about that anymore, so clearly it got fixed, so that's good.
Exactly, it got fixed and they handled it, and I'm sure Universal will fix this. And to be honest with you, this might not even be an issue at all. This might actually just be like some Mummy tie-in, right? Like with the sand.
Yeah. Little ride tie-in, little synergy, you know.
Yeah, the sand comes out of the shower head. There's a face on it, you know. What say you, Italiano? This is, in all seriousness, all joking aside, probably one of the more valid criticisms, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite annoying because, I mean, imagine you're trying to take a shower and sand comes out. I'd be a little bit annoyed. I get it was the opening day thing, but like sand's coming out like a week.
Well, I'm trying to figure out like how that's even like physically possible. Like, do they have
what I'm curious.
They have the pipes like literally going from like the ground, and it's like a suction that it just like like in a mail room, how you put like a package up the tube and it just shoots up. Like, is that? but what kind of like irritates me is where, you know, on here we're fair. You know, we call things out like it is. You know, when things don't work out, you know, for Disney and what have you, we call it out. When something is positive, you know, we call it out on it. And it's like, this is more of like the valid point to say, you know, this is something that, you know, you would call, you know, whether it's Disney or Universal out and say, hey, this needs to be fixed. Like this this isn't gonna, you know, work. You know, we're not paying thousands of dollars to scrub our ass cheeks with sand. You know?
Yeah, although it's great for exfoliation. You're gonna have the smoothest butt cheeks ever, George. The smoothest, man, the smoothest.
But yeah, the sand is interesting because, you know, like someone's taking a shower and they realize it, like, you don't want to actually swallow sand if you're, gets everywhere, like water gets in your mouth. I don't know. So hopefully that doesn't, hopefully that gets fixed. But,
Now,
our buddy Sean.
Just based off of the picture, like, is sand coming out consistently, or is it just like that little bit and it was like, oh my gosh, like,
I don't know. He doesn't really have much context. I don't know. He just has this little bad.
Yeah. Not much context. Yeah, exactly. Not much context at all. And you were saying, our buddy Sean, Ranking the Mouse Wizard, you were saying he's out there right now, staying there, correct?
Yeah, he had a stay. He gave his little review, and it seems like this is not in all the rooms because he didn't get sand, so it seems like just select rooms, and he also didn't have as many problems as this guy. So maybe it's just the select rooms. Maybe he's got a bad room. Who knows?
They were probably like, "Oh, Kevin's here. Give him the sand room."
Yeah.
Give him the sand room.
And he did say this guy, because I think he saw him in person. He did say he was obnoxious. So take that for what you want.
There we go. And the interesting thing too.
And this is the thing he was saying. He said there's nothing wrong, at least from what he saw in every room, there's nothing wrong with this motion sensor. So he suggests Kevin was doing this wrong or activating himself. I don't know. But he said the motion sensor was at least pretty normal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he said guests set the lights to turn on if they move while they're trying to sleep. That must be a pretty strong sensor. I don't know how that's possible. If the sensor's here and your bed's way over there, how are you going to move and the light turns on? I'm not sure I get that one.
That doesn't make sense to me at all, because I actually have some of these in my house, and you have to your hand has to you have to be pretty close to them for them to activate. It's not going to work across the room. So that's a great point.
I'm not sure about this one, but
and especially too, depending on where the bed is located too. So even if it's like across, usually like the bed is like diagonal from that kind of sensor that's by the door. So I don't know how that would. And again, just going by a photograph just with a description.
I know, with a finger.
It doesn't say too much, because if he's like, oh, it's activated. Well, move your finger out of the way. Maybe it would activate.
This would be much better with some kind of video evidence of someone's turning in bed and the light turns on. But you're supposed to take this guy at face value, because I guess you just believe everything you see.
The only one that reported anything wrong with the rooms? Like, was there anybody else that had anything similar?
This is interesting, because I didn't see anybody except for this guy.
It's just this guy.
And Sean had some cons, but his cons weren't many of what he was saying. So, think about it. He wasn't the only one. There's 750 rooms. Yeah, imagine it's close to sold out. So you'd have at least, and there's a lot of bloggers, and I know that's one thing we have seeing. Remember, they said so all these bloggers and vloggers are there. So you think there'd be more criticisms, but in fact, I saw a lot of the opposite. Saw more people hating on this guy than actual whatever he was saying.
Well, I better take a mental note to not stay in the mummy suite.
Yeah. We should comment Kevin, what room did you get? I'm like, okay, we don't want that one.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Take a picture of the number of the room, so we know that to request not that one.
Right. Yeah, we prefer not the mummy suite. Thank you very much.
Now this is interesting, because this is disgusting, at least to me. I don't know if that was a mistake or what it looks like. I don't know, that's supposed to be bananas.
Yeah,
that's fine. But
wait, those are bananas on the top?
Yeah, it looks like poop.
It looks like dehydrated dog turd.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks the opposite of dehydrated. It looks very moist.
Oh yeah, it has a glisten.
There's a glisten, yeah.
So I would definitely send that back. Again, there's no real context. I don't know if he ate that or if he sent it back and got something different. If he sent it back and got the same thing and looked the same, I'm like, But he just says expectation versus reality. It doesn't say what happened after. So I don't know, but I definitely would have sent that back.
Well, exactly, Wizard. And this is one thing, and we're going to go through his tweets. And if I'm getting ahead of myself, or if I'm speaking before we know, I'll correct myself. But obviously he had a lot of issues with this stay. He seemed pretty unhappy, right? So he clearly, I would imagine, based on the level of complaining he's been doing on X, that he complained to the hotel management, I would assume. Now, I think to be fair to Universal, he should, if he did do that, he should express to his community and X at large what was Universal's response to his complaints. Did they put him into a room? Did they comp his room? What happened? Because you have to add, if he did do that, you have to add that into your equation, Kevin. Like you can't just, they can't comp your room and then you leave that part out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. He just says one sentence things. And like here, he totally could have gotten a different another pancake said, "Oh, I think something's wrong with this one," and got a different one. But we never know. He could have eaten that for all we know. And if he did, well, then that's on him. I mean, he didn't have to. Like.
Exactly. I mean, if he ate it, what can you do,
But again, look.
Oh, shit.
But look, this one had another 103,000 views. So look how many views he gets on all these things, and then equate that to, what he posts another one, and he doesn't provide any kind of context. And I think you can kind of see what's going on here. Obviously, some of these things are bad, but at least provide a follow up.
Exactly.
This is why I always like to experience something for myself. Like it's good to actually hear from other people, because some things could be accurate, some things may not. But in the realm of social media, it's like all negativity gets the highest views. It gets the highest clicks. So it's like, how can you then tell what is actually accurate as negatively or inaccurate just to get the clicks? And it's like, you will never know until you actually experience it yourself and say, hey, you know what? I had a similar experience where, okay, I can understand where this person was coming from. But it's like, up until then, you really honestly don't know.
Right. No, 100%. And this is one of those things where he says lights are being fixed in the middle of breakfast. You can't make this stuff up. Okay. This is one of those things. Now look, I would say the same thing with Disney, right? You can't, literally Universal can't win here. If he showed up and that light bulb was out and it wasn't fixed, he would complain that, look at the light bulbs, they're not out. So they're fixing them. And now it's a problem that they're doing it while he's eating.
Yeah, so this is one that this is the only other complaint. I think it was Universal Parks News said that they posted something like that. And it was the only time I saw someone like post that. And I get that could be annoying, but again, both of them don't know. There's no context. Like, what if it was like an emergency? What if something was about to fall? For God forbid, I don't know. What if it was like an emergency? They just had to do it right then. Who knows? I mean, that gets probably annoying. It's probably loud, but it is the first day.
Exactly. It's the first day. You got to expect this,
Because if something fell from the roof or the light fell and hit somebody in the head and killed them, then Universal will have a lot bigger problems than these people posting about this on Twitter,
Yeah, well said. What are your thoughts on light bulb gate, George?
So for me, yeah, it's like a no-win kind of scenario. Like again, and Disney could be put in that same equation. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's like if it's not being taken care of, it's being neglected. Like shame on them for not screwing in the light bulb, and then it's like, or if they do address the issue, it's like, well, they should be doing this while I'm not here, sort of. Like what do you want them to do? It's either they fix it or they don't. It's no matter what, there's always going to be an inconvenience of a time, if something
especially just like a hotel, that's like a 24-hour operation. It's not like a theme park. You can kind of do it overnight. I guess you can do it overnight on the hotel, but there's still a chance someone could be walking in that hallway because they sleep.
I personally feel like that they wouldn't be doing this in the middle of broad daylight unless something
was like serious, like an emergency or something
that needed to be taken care of.
Yeah,
right. And it's the first day. It's kind of like a media heavy day. They probably want to look its best, so they're getting it fixed now.
And also remember, the same guy's complaining twice about leaks. So what if they're not fixing it? He's assuming they're fixing it, but what if there's a leak up there they're trying to fix? Like you don't know.
Great point, Wizard. Absolutely great point.
Or sand.
Or sand, yeah. The mummy room is right above this, you know? Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Look, opening day, and even like the first couple of weeks or even to a month, really, I'm very forgiving with stuff. Like I was saying literally the same thing with Tiana's. I was saying the same thing about the DVC tower at Disneyland. Like you have to give these companies a little bit of grace period. These are still physical things that can break. They're new. There's a test period for this stuff. Now, look, if in 6 months we're still having these problems, okay, fair game. You know what I'm saying? But opening day, come on, you know? Come on.
Yeah. This reminds me of people judging the in the Haunted Mansion gift shop when it was still steel beams under construction.
Yeah, right. No, exactly. Now we do have, you know, he does like something, which this is a great. I love this shop, by the way. This looks dope, dude.
I know this is it's a kind of a big room too, and it's cool because those images are actually from NASA themselves. So this must be, so he likes the room. So this must be before he turned on the shower, or did the lights, or did anything. He must have just stepped in and took a picture. But the room looks cool, and I know some people don't like the windows, but I seem to like. I think the windows are kind of unique, you know. Like,
yeah, no, I would agree. I like the windows. I like this room. My only critique of this whole hotel is I'm not a huge fan of the reflective tiles for some reason. But the internals that we're seeing with like the rooms and everything look dope. I love that. I love the window shape. Very spacey. You like that, George? Spacey. So yeah, this looks fantastic. And Kevin, he approves. I really enjoy the design.
It's funny because in that he says the bed was comfortable, but I've actually seen from multiple people that the bed is uncomfortable. So maybe Kevin's just the opposite guy and he likes things that people don't like. But I guess that was one critique of this room, and I guess because it is a cheaper hotel, but I guess the beds aren't as comfortable as Kevin may seem here. But I'm glad it was comfortable for him, but just not the rain, I guess.
The beds, honestly, like based off of how they look, I would say like they kind of have, in comparison to my ex, kind of stiff, but
stiff.
So, but kind of going back to what you were saying, OG, of about like the reflective tiles, I'm gonna play kind of devil's advocate a little bit on that.
Sure.
I feel like I'm not 100% on board with the reflective tiles as well, but I wonder if it has to do with the shape of the building, because it feels like that the buildings are just like one-dimensional, kind of like long, like rectangle, like boxes, so to speak. Where not rectangular, but horizontal, if you will. I feel like that if they had a little bit more in-depth kind of multi-layer to the building, kind of give it like that galactic feel, I think that the tiles would work better. But I feel like since it's like on one straight panel, it kind of throws it off a bit. So I can see what they were trying to do with it, but yeah. I too like I think that the tiles don't really work based off of the shape of the building.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And here's the bathrooms again. Very nice.
Cool. I like that reflective light behind the mirror. That looks kind of cool.
Yeah, 100%. This looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And we're going to kind of mosey on up. I want to see if he actually complained or something. Did he complain? Hold on one sec.
Yeah, that's the second time he complained about the leak right there. Because now they have 2 trash cans. Oh, man.
They have 2? Oh, my God. You could have called the hotel. This is crazy. 2 cans? 2 can play this game. Remember that? No.
You should go fill it with sand. Fill the whole with sand.
With sand, yeah, exactly. 24 hours later, and the gift shop is still leaking. Most of these issues I've documented would never happen if they actually done test days. I don't know. I mean, who's to say, bro? Like, he's kind of assuming a lot. I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. This isn't good show. It's not good show to have this. But again, these are things that are going to happen to something that's new. You know, it happens here. It happens at Disney when things open. They're brand new. You know, it is what it is.
The approach that I think he should have taken was address all these issues, but then say, let's see how Universal responds to them in the coming days. In the coming weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
And see like how it gets fixed. Like to automatically say, oh my gosh, like this is like happening. Like how can this happen on opening day sort of thing? It's like, it's a bit kind of over dramatic. for me.
And also to like, he said all those things, but then like balance it out. Like I've seen people say great things about the gym and the pool and stuff.
Right.
But he did none of that. He just negative. He didn't say, hey, this is bad, but okay, here's some of the pros of the place. Besides the one thing he could have said, oh, the gym is fantastic. He could have said, oh, he didn't even mention little star hallway. It was just all like bad.
What's the point of doing that? That's not going to get the clicks.
Exactly. That's won't get the 100,000 views. His little tweets.
Yeah.
But maybe if he just capitalized the first letter of each word, then he'll get the clicks.
There you go. Exactly. I still got to see what that spells out. I got to see. Is he trying to tell us something in code?
I know. Like, is he in danger or something?
Kevin, blink twice if you're okay.
Is Daddy Iger telling him to say bad things, but he really likes the hotel? But Iger says no.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting stuff. I mean, Kevin's getting like, I mean, a lot of shit on Twitter for this stuff. And I don't think it's because, I don't think it's because he's negative. I just think it's kind of the way he's going about it. Like you were saying, Wizard, yeah, I think it's okay to be critical. I mean, we've had our critiques in this very video about it, but I think the way he went about it is just kind of, I don't know.
And his other tweet, like before we got to this hell, he said something like, it wasn't even actually a critique on Universal, it was a critique on Apple Maps. It said, Apple Maps leads right to an apartment complex. How do I get into Stella Nova? I'm like, dude, well, it's a big building. It's right there. Clearly, you can figure out the rest of the way, I'm sure. Like, come on, man.
Exactly. Oh, man, I tell you. All right. Well, interesting stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you guys. I've heard a lot of positive stuff. I know our friend Sean, Ranking the Mouse, he was there and he's enjoying it. So, I don't know. It's a value hotel,
This is interesting as one last thing here because Terra Luna, sister property opens up like in March. So hopefully they take whatever opening day jitters they have here and apply it to Terra Luna. So hopefully that opening goes even smoother than this one. Because it's literally the same thing, it's just reversed. So hopefully there won't be any leaks or any shower sand in that hotel when it opens in March.
Yeah, hopefully.
And George, where are you staying when you go out there?
For when we go to Epic, we're just staying at Cabana Bay. We were gonna stay at
the old school.
Yeah, we were thinking about staying at either Luna or Nova, but I figured that being that this was going to be Abby's first time at Universal Orlando, a lot of the other areas around the resort is more walkable. So we'd rather just take the show over to Epic Universe than vice versa.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Nice.
Plus, I don't want to wake up with sand in my crotch.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Actually, never mind.
Oh yeah, Wizard, you can make it. Go for it.
I was gonna say,
you can make it
but do you want her to wake up with sand in her crotch?
Well, you do know that's what they call a dry desert.
There we go. Oh, George. Oh man. All right, fellas. I think it's time to George. What do you say? We pivot? Should we pivot?
Let's pivot.
Let's pivot.
I'ma let you pivot.
There we go. I have a K-pop drop for literally everything, Wizard. It's pivoting and money, whatever it is, I got it. But let's talk a little bit about Ride Rockit. Wizard, you got some news or some information on this? Go ahead and share with class.
All right, so Ride Rockit. There's a demolition permit filed today for that. Universal confirmed it's going to close in early September 2025 to be demolished for a new type of coaster that will be like the one we have out here in Hollywood, but different. I will still be spinning and drifting from Intamin, but it could be either Fast and the Furious or it could be Ghostbusters, and we'll see when that happens, what it will be. But the cool thing is that Ride Rockit will be demolished, and it'll be a nice, better, smoother coaster experience. George, you're going out there before September. You gonna get one last ride, or is it too painful for you?
It depends on if it's still open, because every single time that I'm there, it's usually closed. It's more closed on than Indiana
Open.
Jones.
Man.
Well, we'll see. I mean, either way, Wizard and I will be in the gift shop waiting for you, George. So just
Of
know
course.
that. We're not going.
Yes, we'll be waiting in the nice, warm gift shop while you go and listen and
Of course, yeah,
your
because
music and rattle around.
as I said, like I met this guy out at Universal. He's doing his recordings for Fast and the Furious, and then I happened to catch where he's like, "Well, I will not be going on," and I just had to interrupt him. I'm like, "Wait a minute, you covered this thing from the first shovel of dirt, and it's like you're not gonna ride this thing." He was like, "You're gonna be a guinea pig."
That's what Elizabeth's for. Okay, she'll be the guinea pig.
Oh my gosh! So is your fiance? She loves Elizabeth. She loves the coasters and stuff. She'll go.
She'll go on all of them at Six Flags. She'll just do the whole thing, whole shebang. I'm like, you go, girl, because you'll be filming the POV when I'm in this thing open. So get ready. You enjoy. You, George, and Abby will be on the train. While OG and I will look at you from the overlook. That'd be pretty cool with the Fast and Furious is on the hill, so it'll be pretty cool to stand by, the overlook by Minions Land and watch your friends. When you're too chicken, you can go watch your friends and do the course without you, and they'll be like, I see them.
There they are. They're there. Well, I was telling this guy on a recent video, Wizard. It was really smart how Universal took something that most people see as a negative, like all the escalators and stuff. It's kind of annoying, right? They took that and they actually made it into like an asset, like a positive thing. Like they're like, you know what, we're gonna take that element that we're kind of forced to live with, that hill, and we're gonna turn it into something kind of dope for this coaster. Because that adds a lot of thrill, a lot of craziness to this equation,
And it adds, for the passerby going down the escalator, something to look at when you're going down all those escalators, because there'll be like coasters going around and above you. They're like, oh, so cool. And they'll stop and watch, and they'll be like, oh my God. Even right now, I see people going down the escalator like, whoa. Oh, I see the two types of reactions. I see the, whoa, looks so cool. And I see the OG and I reaction like, I'm not going on that.
Exactly. Every time I pass that thing, I'm like, that looks so dope, but I'm not going on that thing. Hell no, you're not finding me on that thing. George, that's all you, bro. That's all you.
Does the Abby like the big coasters like that?
So it's funny with her is she's willing to try something once, and if she likes it, then she'll stick with it. And then there's times where it's like, if it like hurts her back or it makes her sick, then it's a one and done.
One and done.
Yeah, well, luckily, since they'll have like the Velocicoaster metal detectors and the locker and stuff, you won't have to deal with all that, George, because we'll be holding your bags for you. So straight on,
There you go.
Self-held lockers.
Exactly.
OG, we should charge.
We should. Hey, George, you got my Venmo. Shoot me some moolah, bro. And Wizard too. Wizard, you got Venmo.
Exactly. We're like, hey, we're saving you a few minutes in this line, so we're charged the same that Universal does.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Wizard.
The only difference is it's the same amount, but there's actually room.
Yeah. There's room for multiple bags.
Exactly. It's funny. That's funny. I want to ask you, with this coaster that's replacing Ride Rockit, it's utilizing the Fast and Furious tech. It might be Fast and Furious. You said it might be Ghostbusters. Like, what's your, if you were to guesstimate, what would you say this thing might be?
I'd say Fast and Furious, because I've heard from a couple different people, they want to kill two birds with one stone, right? Because they have the Fast and Furious supercharged attraction. So I keep hearing they want to use the props from that current attraction in this new queue line. So they close supercharge as well, because everyone hates that, right? So they close that, use the props from that in this new coaster, and then turn supercharge into something else, and maybe bring Ghostbusters in a dark ride form to Men in Black.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Cool. Ghostbusters is a cool franchise. Universal can do a lot with that IP, I think.
Yeah, Slimer, where you at, man?
Come on, Slimer, where are you at? Yeah, if they build anything Ghostbusters, Slimer is gonna have like the biggest direction ever.
Slimer's gonna slime.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna slime. Like, here we go.
And all these dollars got commas that come with commas behind them. And all my slammers be slamming. And all my slammers be slamming. And all my slammers be slamming. And all my slammers be slamming.
There we go. Slimer will be sliming.
That animation was pretty cool.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Done by the lovely talented people over there at Pixar. Thank you, Pixar artists, for doing my little drop
Pete.
there.
Thank you, Pete Doctor.
Yeah, exactly. No, just kidding. Pixar did not do that. It was I forgot what it was, like some app or something. It was like a GIF that I could add onto the image. It was crazy. Very homemade for sure, but it looks pretty cool. So, but Ghostbusters, anything would be awesome. I would love to have any kind of like dark ride with that. I love what they did with the at Hollywood, the HHN maze, you know, for Ghostbusters. So. That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Do you think there's any chance, Wizard, we get a Back to the Future anything like attraction wise that IP comes back in any form?
I don't know. I feel like your best bet would be this Fan Fest nights. If that section's really popular or something, or the merch flies off the shelves, then I feel like maybe down the line a Back to the Future show or a ride could come maybe. So I'd say stay tuned to Fan Fest nights, or if you go, buy up all the Back to the Future merch because money talks.
Money talks. Oh shit, Wizard, you're setting me up for a money drop. There we go. Money talks. Money talks.
Well, it's like, and it really does, because honestly, if you look at the I don't even know if you can call it like the type of haunted house, like for the weekend, I didn't care for that maze, but yet they're gonna keep it because $20 drink, up at the bar. Like, that's a lot for Universal. So
and how people are curious, like why is there How to Train Your Dragon Land and Epic Universe, and someone told me this internally but How to Train Your Dragon was one of the top 5 merch sellers at Universal and has been for quite a while. So I guess How to Train Your Dragon Land was on its way somewhere even before this new park was announced. So that's that merch. Gotta buy that merch.
Oh, the dragon merch.
The live action now is
and that too, yeah.
100%. Well, they have that toothless popcorn bucket, which is like adorable. It kind of looks like a almost like a kawaii, like Japanese style, like version of that character. Very, very cute. I would imagine that thing sells out like crazy. I don't have any.
In fact, I bought one here for my roommate who's right behind me. The ears flap and it lights up. It's so cute. It's actually sitting right behind me.
Nice. And I see you got the Mario Kart behind you too.
Oh yes, it's funny. I actually, and I don't know if you guys get popcorn buckets, but I've never actually used a popcorn bucket for popcorn. And it's funny. I feel like nobody does anymore. They're just like collectibles.
They're just for decoration. 100%. Now this is kind of random, but it's Universal related, so I thought I'd share it. I'm not going to play the music because I'll probably get copyrighted. But this was a Japanese restaurant that George and I went to this past Monday. Over here.
What was this restaurant? I saw the story. I was like, cool.
At Westfield Topanga.
It's here?
It's here, bro. It's here. Westfield Topanga.
Where are you? Look, have you been to this restaurant? It's at the mall, apparently. It's a Japanese restaurant. What's it called?
Oh, what was that called? I'd have to look. I'd have to send you. I forgot the name of it.
It was in the lower level.
It's in the lower level, probably the Topanga's. I don't know if it's Topanga. Oh no, was it in the parking garage?
No, it's in where that new like food court is, where they play the live music.
Social. Have you seen this?
Yeah,
because it's a new Japanese restaurant, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the digital counter. I said the digital counter at the Japanese restaurant looks like it came from the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Yeah, it does. Look at it. And all those clocks there.
Dude, just set that shit to 1955. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I gotta look. I gotta find the name of that. I'll let you know, Wizard. It was
like kind of new, right? Because I feel like I haven't seen that before. Because I went to the Topanga Social a couple months ago, but I didn't see any Japanese.
Yeah. On the bottom floor, right next to the winding stairway, it's right there. And it was pretty good too. Wouldn't you say, George?
I liked it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, the sushi was really good.
Yeah, look at George doing the LA thing, Mr. California over here.
So, side tangent. What'd you think of Westfield Topanga, George? Pretty big mall, huh?
I enjoy that mall. Yeah, the first time I got to see it was Oh boy, 2 summers ago, like
So you went before. So this was
yeah,
not your first
I
time.
was able to take my son there. We were there like every day. OG showed it to me, and it was like, oh my gosh, like the food courts, both the top level and the bottom. I'm like, the malls out in PA. We're lucky we have one set of food court, let alone two. Like,
Yeah. And now there's like this really fancy bowling alley in there, and there's the brand new AMC theaters. Like that's a legit. And then there's the outdoor part across the street, which is that's a
yeah,
pretty
and then
legit
there's an
mall.
open bar like right there. It's like, okay, like this is like that's what I call a mall.
Yeah, it's next level for sure. They're smart to kind of incorporate the social life element of it, and not just a bunch of not just stores, but they have like the bar life and all that stuff because they make a mint on that place, the absolute mint on it. But our last and final topic. Oh, here, you know what? Since we're gonna pivot, hold on, we got to pivot properly.
I'ma let you pivot.
There we go. Got to pivot properly.
Play that one more time. I want to see that dude. I don't want to see his neck. It looks like his body.
Like that's the whole reason why you want him to play it.
his body proportions look way off from himself. I'm like, wait a second. I didn't know if that was AI or what, but his neck looked too small compared to his body.
You gotta love Wizard. You gotta love Wizard. Here we go.
I'ma let you pivot.
Okay,
yeah,
so he
you're
does
right.
that turn. His neck looks too small.
Can you play it one more time, OG? I missed it. I looked away.
I'ma let you pivot.
Yeah, it kind of does actually.
Yeah, see, I know the main focus is the girl, but you gotta notice everything.
You gotta notice everything. Absolutely.
It's those finer
That's
details.
so weird. Yeah, exactly. See, those are the details that Kim Irvine was mad about what the people were looking at in the Haunted Mansion gift shop.
Exactly. So, Mr. Wizard, CityWalk over here in Hollywood is going through some significant changes. What's going on with CityWalk?
Yeah, some really cool stuff is coming and closing. I mean, like, it seems like half the place is closed, and some of it will be demolished. Some new stuff's coming. We got the Insomnia cookies, which apparently is open late. According to the sign, I guess it's better than Crumble cookies. That should open soon.
Of course, it's going to be open late. That's why they're called Insomnia cookies.
And then you got Sparky's, which just closed, which I think that's been there since like 1999. So
Wow.
That's closed. And then that's going to be a pizza joint, a Sliced House Pizza, which is pretty cool because we used to have Blaze Pizza over there and then it closed. So I'm glad to have another pizza place over there. Then you have a store the OG is probably kind of like Goo Goo Gaga and Jizz over. And this is the Line Friends Square store. And, that's like a K-pop type of store going on there. And I didn't know that until I had to look it up. And I was like, oh, that's what it's on. Like BTS has a collaboration with them. So that should be pretty cool for all the K-pop fans. OG, I got to go in there with you because I gotta be sure of you.
We're gonna do that together. When does that open, Wizard?
Gosh, I wish I knew. It just says opening soon all the time, but I hear them working, so hopefully in the next couple months.
Yes.
And then we got the escape rooms opening, hopefully in like February or March. That's gonna be 2 stories. So that's pretty cool. And then, we have that security project. The walls are up. They're transforming and closing CityWalk into the bubble like Disneyland has done, and closing downtown Disney into their bubble, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that is kind of. I feel like they're on the precipice of some sort of big announcement, but I don't know. I just get the feeling because with so many things closing, so many walls are up, you think all the guests are wondering what's going on. So hopefully the Universal would say something. Because then the hotel was going to start construction. So it'll be like a whole little resort-wide transformation with new things. And, so far they're keeping quiet, but I feel like something has to be announced because there's too many walls up and too many closings. People have got to be curious.
Any whispers or any kind of like rumblings about like when this might be announced? Because you're right. I mean, the hotel, you can't hide the hotel thing because it's right there in the entrance.
Exactly. And again, the whole like half the parking lot, quarter of the parking lot's walled off. So I mean, that's kind of weird. Not weird because you know what's going on, but random people think, what's that? And I keep asking around, and no one knows about anything. But I feel like at least by the summertime, you think there'll be something because there'll be a big hotel rising. They gotta say something.
You got to say something, and this is interesting. The placement of the hotel is really genius because it's feet away from the theme park, but it's also feet away from CityWalk, which with people actually staying on property now, you could have CityWalk open much later because all those hotel guests now are going to want to do stuff while they're there and stay late.
Especially if the hotel has sand coming in the showers. People want the room, so they want to be in CityWalk.
You got to stay in the mummy suite, bro.
And on those rainy days, man, they're really not going to stay in the hotel because of the tapping. So they'll want to be at the Red Coconut Club, CityWalk version, a Hollywood version.
Exactly. So you can meet a chick over there at the Red Coconut. You come back to the hotel, you'll be tapping something else, right?
Exactly. Then you can outlast the tapping that's going on in the window because they'll be too busy tapping some cheeks.
Tapping cheeks. There we go. Mr. Italiano, what say you about CityWalk changes, additions, modifications, new hotel coming?
I think honestly it's good. Change is good. It gets some updates. Kind of see like what's in store. Sort of kind of like what they're doing with Disneyland's Downtown Disney. Get something fresh, get something new. It's good to see a hotel coming for Universal, especially out here as opposed to Orlando. Kind of drive some people to entice them to stay in the area. And it's also a good sign because if they're looking at placing a hotel, that maybe they're looking in the future of expanding out the park itself. So I know it's kind of difficult of the placement and everything, but you can never say never.
Now, George, I have a question for you since you've been to CityWalk Hollywood, Orlando, and I have,
Yes.
and I have a few ideas, and I'll tell them after you. But if you were to pluck something from CityWalk Orlando to Hollywood, a few things, what would you want?
Like take from Orlando and move.
Yeah, like restaurants, like for example, I'd want like the Big Fire restaurant over here because that looked. I didn't get a chance to eat there, but it looked pretty good, like barbecue stuff, and I was like, that looks pretty good. I definitely wouldn't want that over here. I know a lot of people want a cowfish over here. It's like, what would you want from Orlando to plop over to Hollywood? That's not
honestly, the Big Fire would actually be really good. I would have suggested toothsomes, but obviously, because I tried toothsomes over at Orlando first, but the Big Fire I actually would definitely a lot of those like staple like big restaurants. Because I think it allows for people to kind of get like a different kind of taste of cuisine, So, and that's the one thing that it's weird because Orlando has more to offer in a sense because of its size, but I still enjoy CityWalk over at Hollywood a little more. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's just like the vibe of how everything is kind of like structured. So if you were to a lot of the stuff over in Orlando and was able to put it in Hollywood, I think that'd be a win-win.
Yeah. And for example, since I know you haven't been to CityWalk Orlando, right?
Right, that's correct.
Yeah. So in Hollywood, so far the stuff we have from Orlando is the Antojitos, the Toothsome, the NBC, and the Margaritaville, and Vivo. So far they've accompanied those from Orlando. So they're moving them over slightly, but in Orlando there's like the Big Fire, which I think it's called like Big Fire American Fare, but it's really cool, right? It looks super cool. There's like a 3-hour wait when I went, so I couldn't eat there, but there's like barbecue and like a whole bunch of American food, and it's another Universal owned. All those places I own, I think I mentioned already, like Universal owned things. So it's like Universal owned like barbecue joint table service, which is pretty cool. I feel like CityWalk Hollywood could use some nice Universal owned table service restaurants.
Absolutely. George, when you came down here, I think it was like almost like a year and a half ago, right? We had Pink's hot dogs.
Yes.
On the upper level. Pink's. Oh, so good. So good. And that was your first time at Pink's, right?
That was my first time. Yes. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Pink's. I still would like to go to the original on what is it, Melrose?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. But I've always heard good things about it. I was like, oh, well, if there's a Pink's at Universal Hollywood, it's like if this is my only chance to try it, I got to try it. And honestly, I'm not a big wiener eater, So
Yes. Yeah, George likes other things that are pink, not wieners. Okay,
Yeah.
that's other pink.
There you go.
Yes.
Well said, Wizard. Well said.
But it was definitely really good. Honestly, it's very very unique, and I would eat at Pink's again.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Good,
you
good.
might eat at Pink's every night. Who knows?
Exactly. Oh shit. Wizard's on a roll tonight. Wizard's on a roll tonight.
I need my drum. Boom,
Boom. But yeah, interesting stuff. Universal Hollywood is making moves, which is really, really good to see. It's exciting. I think that the next few years, Wizard, from what like you've been saying and like what we've been hearing, is going to be a huge thing for Universal. The hotel is going to change the game for them. It's going to bring in a lot of tourists. I think that Universal is going to also want to add probably a lot of theme park stuff in there to sort of justify the hotel stays, which is good for theme park fans like us. So, I think overall it's a win-win all around. So I'm excited for it. I really am. Now we're thinking the hotel will be open like 2028-ish?
2027, 2028-ish.
Yeah, right in time for the Olympics. And the Olympics is in Universal's backyard. So that's going to be
right.
Huge. Absolutely huge. So, Mr. Wizard Italiano, fantastic conversation today. We dipped into a lot of stuff. Mr. Italiano, if you could let everybody at home know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner. With all that juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
There he is. And we have Mr. Travel Advisor in the house, Mr. Wizard. Where can everybody find you and where can they book their vacations with you?
You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the most woke app out there, Blue Sky.
Red Laser Eyes.
Red Laser Eyes. That's right. Go woke, go broke. You know what I'm saying? And we can book a trip with me. Go broke booking a trip with me at ebecker at winsintheasttravel.com, because you got to go hang out with George at Epic Universe in May. And you got to let me book the trip for you because you love me.
There he is, Mr. Wizard. And one more time, let's look at Armani White's neck. Here we go.
I'ma let you pivot.
I can't unsee it now.
You got to change his position. You make himself look like an AI alien or something.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of OG55, coming down with all your opinions on everything we discussed today. We would love to hear from you. And until the next time, see you later.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.